The world political systems and economic systems, as the last video compares the East and the West, they appear to be in contrast to each other. They appear to have obviously societal differences through cultures and beliefs systems. So the economic policies and political systems play right into that, making the society at large, or humanity as a whole, to think and perceive the West and in the East, as I'm making the comparison of the two blocks, as if they're different or they are in constant constantation, fight and conflict with each other because of ideals and belief systems. And so this makes it easier for world events and world affairs, or the way in which we run this world or the world is run, to make it look like there is an opposing and a for group of whatever that we are doing. So the first stage obviously has already occurred for whatever is to unfold within the next 5 to 10 years. So the first stage was the scamdemic, the preparation, the reaction, reconnaissance, I would call it that. So they had to see how we react, the society, for the lockdown and other things. And now they have that. So stage 2 would then be the action, or the outdoing of whatever the plan is, second stage. So the way in which things are going worldwide, geopolitics, economics and stuff, it looks like for a long time humanity has been prepared to accept a system which, on the other side of the world, say Western world, we are taught to hate, to not want, to despise. So we are being prepared for a, say, dictatorship, totalitarian, communism, while we are taught democracy. So the world is moving into that space where now everyone will somehow want the system that is being tested and perfected already in the eastern side of things with China, for example. So once that system is tested and perfected, obviously with the help of technology, AI, artificial intelligence, civilian state, all those things, social credits, all those things. So it has to go well in which we acquiesce to that stage 2, so that it looks like we don't know what's really going on, sort of, so that the next stage is ushered in seamlessly, as if also we are unable to fight it, to be against it, because already measures are already in place to make sure that it is as smooth as possible. Although obviously there will always be friction from people who don't want it, who don't want this change, this complete prison that's coming. So obviously we are moving to that, and the systems are obviously now going to reach a crescendo, the East and the West, where now it seems as if, though it's true that they are in conflict, so that a perfect scenario may arise where we see a solution of us being within one system, one ruling sovereign because that power would have already prepared itself to solve the problem, the East and the West problem, which again to us appears to be because of ideals, different belief systems, different political systems, different economic systems, which is actually not that. It has to appear in that way in front of us in the that dimensional reality of things. However, in the background, the spiritual realm, there's no difference. Or should I say, the peddlers, the puppeteers of the puppets, puppet masters, don't have a difference or conflict. All is smooth. But what we see, are allowed to see and perceive as the powers, as our leaders, they have to be in this constant confrontation with each other. There's conflict, so that we may feel like there needs to be a solution. We are getting fed up with this fighting, this conflict, which then presents a better or good conditions for the quote-unquote cooked up solution to come up and present itself, so that we may say, okay, we've been saved, we've been helped, and this is resolved in a way that makes us docile in a way, and in a way that also will keep us inactive in that form of, say, activism and rebellion and whatever that would in a way pose a threat to the emerging new system that has to take over these systems that are not quote-unquote working. So we are moving into that step number 2, and we're moving very fast, obviously also with the introduction of digital IDs, which obviously will monitor everything, which will be your also digital wallet, which obviously will just sort of like put everything on the digital cloud, so that the control of whatever that you do now is no longer within you as a person. The free will is stripped away, because the problem of the system is not the system itself, that the system is inefficient. The problem is the participant, us, the individuals, society, that we are not always in line, forming probable calculations for the system to make sense of whatever that we're doing. We are always deviating from that plan, creating anomalies, which then makes it difficult for calculations and probabilities and everything else to be mapped out, predicted, extrapolated, and all those things for future events, future scenarios. And so in this way, they are sort of now preparing this future scenario with everything put in place, contingencies of those anomalies to be neutralized, so that there's a smoothing of this step number 2. And obviously this is not what I'm saying is going to happen. It is what I'm saying it looks like we're going to. This is the probable futuristic trend of how things are moving on the global scale of things. Obviously, why I'm saying that is because the anomaly may interfere to deviate all of that, destroy all of that, because again, power is never external. It's within you. You are the power. What makes you not think that is because of the exacerbated externalized power, which obviously has to be ramped up and supported by violence, coercion, and other forms of violence that are put there as measures to make sure that fear is sort of like one of the controlling mechanisms to make us not rebel against whatever that we may be met up with, or whatever that is introduced to us to accept as the new system, the new modus operandi of how things should be. And so this is just step 2 of how things are supposed to go. And obviously, remember, systems built on purpose to make it look like they are in conflict, these economic systems, and I've grouped them together and say the East and the West. Obviously, in the East, we do have democracies there and there, your Singapore's and whatever, Japan and stuff, but systems themselves are not in that way because it's a natural phenomena. It's a deliberate action that made the systems like that, so that there's an easier way in which we are controllable, manageable humans. So for today, I'll just end it there. We'll just meet for part 3.